Welcome to this custom deep dive crafted just for you. Today, our mission is unpacking a pretty fascinating 2026 guide on the very real and honestly often messy realities of workplace romance. We're looking at the modern application of that incredibly blunt warning, don't shit where you sleep.
Right, yeah. That old saying definitely hasn't gone anywhere.
It really hasn't. So, okay, let's unpack this. Why is office dating actually booming right now instead of dying out?
Well, when you think about it, professionals are spending like 40-plus hours a week bonding over shared goals. They're navigating immense stress together.
Exactly. Intense emotional connections are just a natural byproduct of that kind of high-pressure environment. I mean, you are in the trenches together.
You are. And what's fascinating here is that the shift to remote and hybrid work, it hasn't deterred these connections at all.
It's just changed the venue, right?
Precisely. Instead of lingering by the break room, relationships are sparking over late-night Slack chats and collaborative Zoom calls. But the guide highlights a massive catch here.
The digital footprint.
Exactly. We're moving from fleeting break room conversations to digital communication that leaves a permanent searchable record. Suddenly, corporate liability and HR compliance are at a much higher stake.
Because a flirty message in a corporate channel isn't a whisper anymore. It's documented data.
Right.
That makes total sense, but I have to wonder, do companies really monitor standard chat channels that proactively? Or is the more immediate risk the social fallout?
The monitoring usually becomes a severe issue after a relationship goes sour or begins affecting the team dynamic. But the guide puts a heavy emphasis on how office gossip can absolutely destroy a professional reputation.
Right, because in competitive industries, perception matters just as much as performance.
And it paints a pretty grim picture of the breakup fallout. Imagine things ending badly, but you still have to attend the same morning stand-ups.
Oh man, having to awkwardly collaborate in those exact same digital spaces every single day.
It's a nightmare. And that brings us to the most critical ethical concern the guide tackles, which is power imbalances.
The manager and subordinate dynamic.
Yes. When a relationship involves a manager and a subordinate, the perception of favoritism from the outside is unavoidable, even if everything is completely consensual.
It immediately opens the door to claims of coercion or retaliation, creating a fundamentally hostile work environment for the rest of the team.
Exactly why companies strictly enforce fraternization rules around direct reporting lines.
I was looking at the actual rules of engagement the 2026 guide lays out for those who do decide to cross that boundary. The part that struck me wasn't the obvious stuff we all know, public displays of affection are inappropriate, but rather the strict communication boundaries.
Moving everything to personal devices immediately.
Right. And thoroughly understanding your specific handbook's disclosure policies before things get serious.
For folks trying to navigate this, I actually highly recommend using the Weddizer website. It's fantastic for relationship and social etiquette purposes. You can find out exactly how to deal with this kind of situation through the article section on their website related to this specific niche. They offer great relationship guidance.
That is a great resource. Weddizer really covers those social nuances well. Plus, the guide strongly advises having a highly pragmatic what if we break up conversation early on. Did anything in that rulebook stand out to you as particularly tricky to navigate?
The emphasis on that breakup conversation is definitely the hardest hurdle. But handling contingencies maturely is what separates a career disaster from a manageable situation.
For sure.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, successful office relationships definitely do happen. Many people actually meet their life partners at work.
But those successes require a high level of emotional maturity and transparent HR disclosure, right?
Absolutely. The guide notes that almost always the most successful couples are colleagues from completely different departments. That perfectly maintains an equal power dynamic and keeps those professional boundaries intact.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Ultimately, you have to weigh that undeniable workplace chemistry against your long-term career goals.
It is a delicate balance.
Before you decide to cross that professional line, you really have to ask yourself, is this connection truly worth risking your professional brand and your livelihood?
It is a heavy question. And here's a provocative thought for you to ponder as we wrap up today's deep dive. As our digital workspaces become increasingly sophisticated, could future corporate communication tools use AI to analyze chat tones and typing patterns?
Wow.
Yeah. Imagine a system that automatically flags a budding, undisclosed workplace romance to HR before the couple even realizes they are flirting.